Hello, this is Zamella with some daily tarot inspiration and encouragement. I'm going to start with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. We got the Ten of Fire. The key words are doing, self-mastery, mastery, evolution, enlightenment, light work, light being, and discipline. This is about mastery of both craft and self, taking command of yourself and your life, taking responsibility for your actions, not being a slave to outside forces, order, structure, and simplicity. Being disciplined and dedicated, stop making excuses and act. You can do anything you set your mind to and act upon. The Ten of Fire symbolizes mastery, not just of a skill or a craft, but of oneself. It means understanding the tools of your craft and wielding them with skill, precision, and craftsmanship. It is about knowing yourself and using that knowledge and understanding to bring you all that you need and desire, with the same level of skill, precision, and craftsmanship. The Master, illustrated in the Ten of Fire, knows how to wield his personal power. He moves with clear intentions, and he acts with the same intent. He is aware of what motivates his behavior and actions, and exhibits complete self-command. He acts with deliberation and with complete awareness of the effects his actions will have upon himself and his environment. He is not only confident, he is capable also. He has evolved from a person who lacked awareness and perhaps even blamed others for the problems in his life because he was unable to see that every action gives rise to a consequence. He once stumbled about, his inexperience resulting in more mistakes than triumphs, but he continued, and, in doing so, reached a crucial moment of enlightenment, when he realized that in order to succeed, he had to take command of himself and his life. He had to take responsibility for every choice made, for every action, and for every emotion. From that moment on, he would shape his life. He would shape who he was. He would no longer be a slave to outside forces. He would become a master. If the Ten of Fire appears in your reading, he indicates a time to step up and take charge of your life. It is a time to dedicate yourself to the path of the Master, not so you can have control over others, but so you can shape your life with skill and confidence. How does one become a master? It may require pushing one's mind and body to continue, despite all impediments and perceived restrictions. It requires dedication and discipline, and a willingness to set personal challenges and goals and stick to them. It also requires knowing when to stop and allow yourself time to absorb and recharge. The Master recognizes that there is a time for growth, and a time to be dormant and rest. Above all, to become a master, you must be willing to learn. On a metaphysical level, see a lesson in all experiences. On a practical level, learn something that requires daily practice. Do not allow your first inevitable failures and mistakes inspire you to give up. Want to be a writer? Then the Ten of Fire suggests dedicating time to writing every day and learning how to write well. To be a musician, practice every day and take the time to learn correct technique and other fundamental elements. If you want to be thinner or stronger, move every day and embrace healthy eating habits. If you want to save money, learn how to be frugal and careful and live in a way that costs you less. Choose to be good at what you do, whatever it is that you do. Being a master is not about being the best or being number one. The Ten of Fire symbolizes giving your best and continuing to improve and grow, because by giving your best each and every time, you challenge and push yourself just that little bit further until what you do becomes second nature to you. In general, When the 10 of fire is drawn, consider it a message to act and to not make excuses. To be a master, you have to be willing to work with your mind and hands in an almost religious observance. There is no other way. Finally, the 10 of fire also symbolizes reaching that point where dedication and hard work have created ease and surety. That moment when you can look at the task before you and say with confidence that you understand what you have to do and you are capable of doing it well. It is a powerful moment. Take the time to acknowledge and enjoy it. Celebrate your achievements and accomplishments, no matter how big or small they are. Shine, rejoice. You have earned this moment in the spotlight. Delight in it, and allow it to inspire further fearless exploration, growth, and evolution. The 10 of fire can show up as a potential blockage to remind you that a master is not only a master of self and the tools that he wields, he is master to no other. Therefore be careful not to extend your desire for control onto others, nor expect them to be as disciplined. You exhibit the self-control of a true master by letting go of the need to control others. Everyone is different, and some work to their best ability in a matter that seems random, chaotic, and lacking in any real purpose or direction. Do not attempt to impose the same limits and restrictions you are willing to embrace upon others. Also, remove the words "I cannot" from your vocabulary, and monitor your inner dialogue for defeatist or pessimistic beliefs. You will not succeed if you believe you will fail before you have even tried. Instead, do whatever you set your mind, body, and spirit to doing, and you will succeed, even when you fail, because failure offers knowledge. Use that knowledge to formulate a new plan or direction. Use that knowledge to determine if you should embrace a different, or less conventional, or rigid way of working. Next, I'm going to do the Osho Zen Tarot, and it's going to be what we need to work on. The Master. The Master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. His every gesture and his every word reflect his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him, not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes they find their own truth reflected, and in his silence they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. The Master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you are blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching, learn from the teachers and the would-be masters, and move on. This is an image of Osho himself. And even if you don't have someone to learn from physically, you can still read the books of enlightened masters and also follow your own inner guidance. Beyond mind, there is an awareness that is intrinsic, that is not given to you by the outside, and is not an idea. There is no experiment up to now that has found any center in the brain which corresponds to awareness. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and disidentify yourself from it. That very separation is the greatest revolution that can happen to man. Now you can do and act on only that which makes you more joyous, fulfills you, gives you contentment, makes your life a work of art, a beauty. But this is possible only if the master in you is awake. Right now, the master is fast asleep, and the mind, the servant, is playing the role of the master. And the servant is not even your servant. The servant is created by the outside world. It follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up the whole slavery that the mind has created. There is no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being a master of your own destiny. The second card is the Knight of Fire, Intensity. The figure in this card has taken on the shape of an arrow, moving with the single pointed focus of one who knows precisely where he is going. He is moving so fast that he has become almost pure energy, but his intensity should not be mistaken for the manic energy that makes people drive their cars at top speed to get from point A to point B. That kind of intensity belongs to the horizontal world of space and time. The intensity represented by the Knight of Fire belongs to the vertical world of the present moment, a recognition that now is the only moment there is, and here is the only space. When you act with the intensity of the Knight of Fire, it is likely to create ripples in the waters around you. Some will feel uplifted and refreshed by your presence. Others may feel threatened or annoyed. But the opinions of others matter little. Nothing can hold you back right now. Zen says, think of all the great words and great teachings as your deadly enemy. Avoid them, because you have to find your own source. You have not to be a follower, an imitator. You have to be an original individual. You have to find your innermost core on your own. With no guide, no guiding scriptures, it is a dark night, but with the intense fire of inquiry, you are bound to come to the sunrise. Everybody who has burned with intense inquiry has found the sunrise. Others only believe. Those who believe are not religious. They are simply avoiding the great adventure of religion by believing. The third card is the Nine of Water, Laziness. This gentleman clearly thinks he's got it made. He sits in his big overstuffed chair wearing his sunglasses, shaded by his umbrella, with his pink slippers and his pina colada in his hand. He doesn't have the energy to get up and do anything because he thinks he's done it already. He hasn't yet turned to see if the mirror cracking around him, on his right, a sure sign that the place he thinks he's finally arrived at, is about to shatter and dissolve before his very eyes. The message this card brings is that the poolside resort is not your final destination. The journey isn't over yet, as that white bird flying into the vastness of the sky is trying to show. Your complacency might have arisen from a real sense of achievement, but now it's time to move on. No matter how fuzzy the slippers, how tasty the pina colada, there are skies upon skies still waiting to be explored. When you are lazy, it is a negative taste. You simply feel that you have no energy. You simply feel dull. You feel sleepy and dead. When you are in a state of non-doing, then you are full of energy. It is a very positive taste. You have full energy. You're overflowing, radiant, bubbling, vibrating. You're not sleepy, and you are perfectly aware. You are not dead, you are tremendously alive. There is a possibility that the mind can deceive you. It can rationalize laziness as non-doing. It can say, I have become a Zen master, or I believe in Tao, but you are not deceiving anybody else. You will be deceiving only yourself, so be alert. This card is about the unknown unknowns, the states of consciousness that you are not even aware of that are possible. And it encourages you to keep exploring, to trust that there's something beyond what you currently know, and delve into it, and patiently explore it. So the next 3 cards will be what we are doing well. no thingness. Being in the gap can be disorienting and even scary. Nothing to hold on to, no sense of direction, not even a hint of what choices and possibilities might lie ahead. But it was just this state of pure potential that existed before the universe was created. All you can do now is to relax into this nothingness. Fall into the silence between the words. Watch this gap between the outgoing and incoming breath. And treasure each empty moment of the experience. Something sacred is about to be born. Buddha has chosen one of the really very potential words, shunyata. The English word, the English equivalent, nothingness, is not such a beautiful word. That's why I would like to make it no thingness, because the nothing is not just nothing, it is all. It is vibrant with all possibilities. It is potential, absolute potential. It is unmanifest yet, but it contains all. In the beginning is nature, in the end is nature. So why in the middle do you make so much fuss? Why, in the middle, becoming so worried, so anxious, so ambitious? Why create such despair? Nothingness to nothingness is the whole journey. What this means is that you're in an in-between space in your life. Something is about to happen. You're generating or manifesting what you want from the pure potential of your imagination as you live and exist in between worlds, in between phases, or even in between segments of your life. You're getting ready for the next steps you have to take, so don't worry, even if sometimes it seems like you're staring into the dark. The second card on what we are doing well is the Six of Clouds, the burden. When we carry a load of shoulds and shouldn'ts imposed on us by others, we become like this ragged, struggling figure trying to make his way uphill. Go faster, try harder, reach the top, shouts the foolish tyrant he carries on his shoulder, while the tyrant himself is crowned with an imperious rooster. If life these days feels like just a struggle from the cradle to the grave, it could be time to shrug your shoulders and see what it feels like to walk without these characters on your back. You have your own mountains to conquer, your own dreams to fulfill, but you will never have the energy to pursue them unless you release yourself from all the expectations you've gathered from others, but now think are your own. Chances are they exist only in your mind, but that doesn't mean they can't weigh you down. It's time to lighten up and send them on their way. A man's true life is the way in which he puts off the lie imposed by others on him. Stripped, naked, natural, he is what he is. This is a matter of being and not of becoming. The lie cannot become the truth. The personality cannot become your soul. There is no way to make the non-essential the essential. The non-essential remains non-essential, and the essential remains essential. They are not convertible. And striving towards truth is nothing but creating more confusion. The truth has not to be achieved. It cannot be achieved. It is already the case. Only the lie has to be dropped. All aims and ends and ideals and goals and ideologies, religions, and systems of improvement and betterment are lies. Beware of them. Recognize the fact that, as you are a lie. Manipulated, cultivated by others. Striving after truth is a distraction and a postponement. It is the lie's way to hide. See the lie. Look deep into the lie of your personality, because to see the lie is to cease to lie. No longer to lie is to seek no more for any truth. There is no need. The moment the lie disappears, truth is there in all its beauty and radiance. It is the seeing of the lie. This means you're doing a good job of letting go of the restrictions that you have taken upon yourself, that people said that you should and shouldn't do, or the expectations that you perceive from others that you shouldn't do, letting go of what other people think and really following your own self-direction and intuition. The third card for what we're doing well is the 5 of Rainbows, which represents the physical, the outsider. The small child in this card is standing on one side of a gate, looking through it. He is so small and so convinced that he cannot get through. He cannot see that the chain holding the gate is not locked. All he has to do is open it. Whenever we feel left out or excluded, it brings up this feeling of being a small, helpless child. It is not surprising, as the feeling is deeply rooted in our earliest childhood experiences. The problem is that, because it is so deeply rooted, it plays over and over again, like a tape, in our lives. You have an opportunity now to stop the tape, to quit tormenting yourself with ideas that you are somehow not enough to be accepted and included. Recognize the roots of these feelings in the past, and let go of the old pain. It will bring you the clarity to see how you can open the gate and enter that which you most long to become. So you are feeling yourself an outsider. This is good. This is the transitory period. Now you have to be alert not to fill yourself with pain and misery. Now that God is no longer there, who is going to console you? You don't need any consolation. Humanity has come of age. Stand on your own feet. The only way to be connected with existence is to go inwards, because there at the center you are still connected. You have been disconnected physically from your mother. That disconnection was absolutely necessary to make you an individual in your own right. But you're not disconnected from the universe. Your connection with the universe is of consciousness. You cannot see it, so you have to go deep down with great awareness, watchfulness, witnessing, and you will find the connection. The Buddha is the connection. That's it for the reading today. Thank you for watching.